Welcome back, everybody, to Waadaplaya. The focus now shifts to women's cricket, but today we are here to talk about the five-match series beginning December 10th, which will be played entirely in Mumbai. Australian team are going to visit India. India are going to be the host. After a long while, we got Sharadha on our show back. Welcome back, Sharadha. How are you doing? What has been
Hi,
happening on She Talks Cricket?
Hi, Suman. Thank you so much for having me. So it's been a pleasure and nice to catch up after a while.
There are three things, again, lots to talk about. Originally, Sharda and I thought that we will preview the Australia tour of India, but in the last 24 hours, there have been personnel changes in the coaching staff of India. So we will cover that as to what happened, what is the impact. We'll also chat about the under 19 India selections. There are a couple of interesting selections. But first, let's talk about the Australia series. This will be a build-up series which will be for ICC T20 World Cup, which will be held in South Africa early next year. The last time these two teams, India and Australia, faced each other was in Birmingham. If you remember the Commonwealth Games, where in the final, Australia won the final with the margin of 9 runs. India lost the game. So India named the 15-member squad. So did Australia for a five-match T20 series. All the five games will be happening in Mumbai. We hear from BCCI that all of the games will be free for public. How cool is
I think
that?
it's a good thing. There is one side to it, making it accessible to a lot of people. But, there are some other views going on the internet as well, about monetizing the revenue. But I think in a city like Mumbai, where a lot of people follow and are interested in women's cricket, so I think making the five-match T20 series free for everyone, I think it's a decent start so that the games will be played under lights, so everyone can just after they finish school, college, work, whatever, they can just come in and watch the best two teams in women's international cricket right now go against each other. So I think it's good for a start.
All right, so the two squads. First things, Australia. Meg Lanning continues to take a break, and Alisa Healy steps up as a captain. And Talia McGrath, which no surprises, especially after that women's BBL, is promoted as vice captain. Any surprises in the Australian squad, and what do you think of Alisa Healy as a captain for the
I think
team?
it's going to be a challenge for Alisa Healy because playing against a team like India who are so close to beating Australia despite finals of an event or whatever it is. In the absence of Meg Lanning, yes, it's going to be somewhat interesting to see what kind of strategy the Australian team adopts. Usually, the Australian women they go for an all-out aggressive strategies, but this time, coming here for just a T20 series, it's going to be both challenging and exciting viewing things in Alisa Healy's perspective. And of course, she will miss having some senior pros around. Recently, Meg Lanning, as you said, is on a break, and Rachel Haynes, the most senior pro, will also not be around. So yes, of course, she will have some kind of guidance with the likes of Ashley Gardner, who has played a bit of international cricket when compared to the others, and they have Megan Shute as well, who has been there around for a long time. And there is one interesting selection. It's of Phoebe Litchfield. For those of you following the women's Big Bash League, Litchfield is a young middle order batter. I think she plays at number 4 for the Sydney Thunder, if I'm not wrong. She's a very very exciting prospect. She kind of fills in. I know they have big shoes to fill, but she kind of is the replacement for Rachel Haynes going forward. Australia will look at Phoebe Litchfield from that point of view. She can build you those partnerships and she can quickly get you those runs as well. So playing at a 115 120 strike rate, she has all the shots in the book. She plays the reverse sweep really really well. So it'll be interesting to see if Litchfield gets a go right from the first game. And of course, Kim Garth as well, Irish player who recently moved to, a few years back, who moved to Australia to pursue international cricket. And due to some rewarding performances in Australian domestic circuit, she has also been granted, her maiden call. So I think these two are really good selections, keeping in mind the future of Australian women's cricket. And it'll be interesting to see when they get a chance.
And look at that lineup. I mean, so strong. I know Meg Lanning and Rachel Haynes are not there, but you have Darcy Brown, Ashley Gardner, as you mentioned. Jess Jonasson is in fantastic form. Alana King will be looking forward for this tour because she's an upcoming spinner, Indian conditions. Elise Perry's experience in there. Annabelle Sutherland, who's an exciting fast bowler. So all in all, looks like a pretty strong lineup Australia is bringing through.
Yeah, of
Uh,
course, solid 100%. They also have Beth Mooney. Mooney is someone who is known to thrive in tough conditions. So it'll be exciting to see her.
So that's Australia team. Talking about India women's squad, Harmanpreet Kaur continues to lead the side. Any surprises there? We don't have a couple of names, which is Neharana, Pooja Vastarkar, Shikha Pandey, any chance? So are you surprised with these selection changes for India women, Sharadha?
Yes, of course. Actually, with I'm a bit surprised with the exclusion of Sneh Rana because she was the one who was consistent even in the Commonwealth Games and even in the Asia Cup as well. So I know her exclusion is a bit shocking, but I'm extremely happy for two selections. One is Devika Vaidya. Devika Vaidya has been performing in the Indian domestic circuit for a very very long time now, and she is a fantastic talent youngster. A go-getter as we can say. So she is a leggy and a left-handed top order bat. So with Poonam Yadav being sidelined for a while now, I think Devika Vaidya is will be looked up to take that spot of a leg spinner. Recent times, and even in the India tour of England, and after that the Asia Cup also, India have been playing without a leg spinner in their squad. So finally, to have a leggy who can get you those wickets, who is an attacking option, it's a great relief to see Devika Vaidya back, with some strong domestic performances. And Anjali Sarwani, she's one of the most deserving candidates. A very, very utility cricketer, as you can say, especially in the shorter format, she can get you those quick runs and, just those overs to fill in as well, pick up some wickets. So, pretty chuffed with the selection of these two youngsters on the back of some strong performances in the women's senior league recently. And I think with Shikha Pandey, yes, of course, it is a bit disheartening to see her being sidelined again. But I think the selectors for a while now have been looking beyond Shikha Pandey because she was not there. Even in the World Cup squad, and after that also, when India toured England and even in the Asia Cup, when she could have been presented with an opportunity, the selectors preferred to go with the three-pace attack of Renuka, Meghna, and Pooja Vastrakar. So I think the selectors are looking beyond Shikha Pandey. Of course, it is disappointing. It will be good to have a senior crew, guiding the young seamers, especially in a high-pressure situation like the World Cup.
And the only aspect of India women's squad I feel there is a gap, especially with Sneharana not being there, is that middle order all-rounder option. There is no experience in there. Do you agree that's the area of concern for India? Or
Yes, I think you are spot on. So we have selected a top heavy squad. So you have a lot of players contending for that opening spot. You have Shefali Verma. You have, of course, you have Smriti Jemima. So you have a lot of options for till the number 4 slot. But even Pooja Vastrakar is missing due to an injury. So the onus falls upon completely upon Richa Ghosh as a finisher, who is very young when compared to Sneh Rana, who is a little bit inexperienced when compared to Sneh Rana. So, especially in absence of Pooja Vastrakar, so the absence of Rana might hurt if the Indian top order fails. So the finisher role, we have to wait and watch whether Harleen Deol will be batting a little bit down the order. That is one glaring area that Australia have filled in with the likes of Grace Harris and even Talia Magra dotting that role. But India slightly, fall short on that finisher aspect.
India under 19 World Cup selections are going on, and surprisingly, at least it's a surprise for me, and you explained to me the rationale. I was shocked to see Shafali Verma and Richa Ghosh back in under 19 when they were part of the senior squad. Now, how do we see this? Is this because Shafali has been slightly out of form? Richa Ghosh has been doing well. Are they giving opportunity for them to go back to basics and get some form back in, or are they trying to get some senior support under 19 team? How do we see as a fan these two changes reflecting on the players and also in the team?
I think the rationale and the ideology is pretty simple. Get us the World Cup. So that's the, I feel that's the basic ideology behind including these two in this squad. I know that, a lot of youngsters have been doing well, and, two of them have to be dropped to accommodate these two. But I believe that the inclusion of Shefali and Richa Ghosh will make the team only stronger. And, with them having international experience, they can also create a good atmosphere, a learning atmosphere in the dressing room. They can share their experiences. And also, another important fact is that after Harmanpreet Kaur, we have to look for, someone to take up the captaincy in the longer format for the senior team. So maybe Shefali Verma can don that spot, in the next 5 to 6 years. So it'll be interesting to see how she goes about this new role. So, but I believe the mantra is pretty simple. So you, for a World Cup, you send the strongest team possible. I think the selectors have made the right call. The call is, just get the World Cup home. And I believe, with India having such a team, we have a great chance of winning the World Cup. We saw the Indian men's team, win the inaugural version of the 2007 T20 World Cup, and we have seen how much of an impact that created. So, if the girls are able to win this again, the inaugural Under 19 T20 World Cup, then who knows what might come. So, it is all for good, I would say.
Excellent. And hopefully the experience of Shafali Verma, who's played ton of senior cricket, is going to help the youngsters in the under 19 team. It's a great opportunity for her. They made her the captain. I mean, I don't know the track record of Shafali, but hopefully this opportunity is better utilized. And as you positively pointed out, winning the World Cup is the idea.
Yeah, so the World Cup is happening in South Africa. A couple of weeks later, they have the Senior Women's T20 World Cup also there. So again, getting acclimatized to the situation. Shefali and Richa Ghosh are still an integral part of the, the T20 squad. So they are also going to get an advantage of being in there early. Give inputs to the players, senior players who are coming in about the pictures, about the, the ground conditions. So, of course, I feel it's an advantage.
Okay, so that brings us to the series prediction. 5 T20 matches, Australia versus India. What is your prediction about the series result? Who are a couple of players from India to look forward for, and who are a couple of players from Australia to look forward for?
I think India are going to win the series 3-2. Because I'm saying this because Australia have also, undergone some massive changes in the last 1 year. They have the most successful captain Meglan in missing. They have seen Rachel Haynes retirement. So some new faces in the squad. So even they will be reconsidering their options. They will have to reshuffle entirely. Coming to the players to look out for from India's perspective, I would say Smriti Mandana. I feel she has worked a lot on her lofted shots, and in the shorter formats, definitely she has an excellent record against Australia as well. So Smriti, I would say, and Jemima Rodriguez has been in great form. And if Devika Vaidya gets a chance to play, she will also be one of the players to look for, and Harleen Deol. So these are my four picks from the Indian team. And if I can add one more, Renuka Singh Thakur. So I think these are the players to look forward to. And coming to Australia, Talia McGrath is the first name to come onto my mind. I think again she is so somewhat she has been a lot. She has played a lot under pressure, and she can do whatever the team demands of her. So she's going to be someone to watch out for sure. Alana King with the flippers and even the leg breaks. PB Litchfield, if at all she gets an opportunity. So I think yes, with Australia, I think these players we can expect them to come good.
Great. Lots to look forward for. Like again, just a reminder for the fans, entry for the fans for all the games is right now free. So if you get an opportunity and if you're in and around Mumbai, do make sure you go and watch the games. It'll be exciting series. In the last 24 hours, there have been changes in the coaching setup. Rishikesh Kanitkar has been made head coach. Ramesh Pawar has gone to National Cricket Academy to focus. So, were we expecting these changes, Sharadha? And from Rishikesh Kanitkar's point of view, what does he bring to the table? And looks like he's going to go into World Cup as a head coach, hopefully. So, what are your thoughts and reactions from those two changes?
Of course, see, it was a surprise. It caught us all by surprise, because before a World Cup is, it's not the right time. It's not the best time, rather, to reshuffle a major part of the coaching staff. I can understand, a physio change, a doctor change, that is fine, but changing the head coach, it's something that the team needs to adapt to quickly. But it has been brought to notice that there were some adverse remarks from the senior players requesting for a change in coach or something. There were some reports, but we don't know yet for sure. Rishikesh Kanitkar has been with the Indian team as a batting coach right from the Asia Cup. So it's
Yes.
not like, he doesn't know everyone. He has been there for a while, and he definitely has the experience. He's one of India's best, technically best long format cricketers. So it'll be interesting to see, especially what he brings to the table for the batters, because as we spoke about earlier, India is a batting heavy side, and with the T20 World Cup, so it'll be interesting to see the strategies, the playing combination, and whatnot. But we still need to wait and see whether a new head coach will be announced, or whether it's Kanitkar going to take over the entire coaching setup. So that we need to wait and watch. But it surely caught us by surprise. But again, they have 2 to 3 months to go for the World Cup, and they'll be playing a tri series also in February. So I think they have enough time, and it's not that he is a complete new commodity. Some of the players have already been training with him. So I think yes, the transition might be a little bit difficult for the players, but I'm sure that the players will get accustomed to it, especially the senior coach.
Power's role has mostly been controversial with the team. His stint always been with the senior cricketers. It's been an interesting dynamic. Hopefully, Kanitkar uses this opportunity. Big 6 months coming up for Team India. But right now, the focus will be on the Australia tour of India, 5 T20 matches which are coming up. Sharadha, thank you so much for all of your inputs, expert input. Before we drop, do you want to talk to us about She Talks Cricket? We keep watching all of your clippings. So, what can viewers expect by following you? Where should they follow you? And what are some of the things which are going on at your end?
Thank you so much, Suman. It's very kind of you. So, She Talks Cricket is, I started it off with an initiative to just give previews and reviews of games. But once I started getting involved a lot in coaching, I felt that the tactical aspects of the game, needs to be discussed more. So, in the coaching circuit, there is a huge gap between the technical. So, everyone knows the technical stuff, it's here, but actually in the higher you go, it's the tactical stuff that matters. So tactical is here, you can see the gap is huge. So in She Talks Cricket, I'm just attempting to bridge the gaps between tactical and technical, by giving introducing new topics, like simple things like how to judge a run, how to make the ball swing longer, things like that, so that cricketers can actually adopt these exact things in a match simulation. It's not, technical advice is available on the internet for free. It's the tactical things, that I feel, especially with the women's cricketing circuit, needs to get better. So that's what I'm trying to do.
Smart. So excellent. So folks who are watching and listening, Instagram She Talks Cricket, go click follow and you will see a lot of interesting content which Sharda just explained. Awesome. So thank you, Sharda. It is always a pleasure having you on the show. Excellent articulative insights. Thank you for joining us, and hopefully you enjoy the 5 match series. And we will try and do a mid series or end of series again session with you to see how the predictions went and what are some of the things which came out for Team India. For folks who are watching, as always, continue to support us. If you like our content, please like, subscribe, and tell your family members to follow us. Until next time, thank you, Sharda, and see you later.